I was just creative and liked to do everything artistic. And then I kind of fine-tuned that in high school with a couple of classes and then went to college and said, yep, this is it. This is my passion.
The Banowetz Podcast.
Welcome back to the Banowetz Marketing Podcast. We're glad you're here. Today I have Melody. Hi, Melody.
Hello.
So Melody is Banowetz Marketing's in-house graphic artist. So you've been with Banowetz Marketing since October of 2018.
Yep.
So that's been really awesome. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Melody.
I went to school for graphic design. I went to Kirkwood, got my degree from there. My mom actually owns a small business with my stepdad. They own Hidden Valley Campground. So I helped them with a lot of their design throughout high school and college and currently still. My fiance, Matt, works for a company called WabTech. So he's a software engineer. So kind of similar. He just does the more technical side of what I do. So that works out. And design has just kind of always been my passion. I guess when I was younger, it was more art based and I didn't know exactly what I wanted. I was just creative and liked to do everything artistic. And then I kind of fine-tuned that in high school with a couple of classes and then went to college and said, yep, this is it. This is my passion. And
So what do you love about graphic design?
I love being able to be creative, but with guidelines, with standards. So there's rules in design. So you have that creative ability to do what you want, but there are rules and standards that make it work in business. So that's appealing to me. Organization, guidelines.
I've seen that in your work too. And just in like your desk is very organized because I'm a creative also because I come from the photography background, as you know. And I'm more of like the free spirit creative and you're
Yes.
like very structured and it's been a huge blessing for Banowetz Marketing and I can see that in your work. So
Yeah,
it's
it's
very exciting.
definitely been a good time.
We were going to talk about branding today.
Yes.
So tell us what branding is for a company.
So branding is your company's visual voice. It's what you use to project your voice to the consumers before they know even who you are. So, I mean, you can think of big companies like Apple and Nike who have very strong visual brand standards. Like you recognize it, you see it, and that's the company, and you kind of know what they do and what they're about. So branding for any other company is just taking what you know your company to be, simplifying that down to just a few points and turning that into a visual representation that you can then show to the public.
And what that does is it gives people, the consumer, that the business's target audience, like a picture of who that company is, like in a split second, just by visually looking at it, right?
Yep. So say you're scrolling on social media, there's an ad and your branding is in that ad, and that split second, a potential consumer sees your brand. And if it catches their attention, then you've already won to some extent.
And one thing that I love about working with you, Melody, is just the fact that my strengths in marketing so I'm a marketing director, as you know, and my strengths are I love cohesive branding. Like I am committed to cohesive branding. Like if we're going to come into a company, that's one of the first things I talk about is let's have everything across platforms, across your folders, to your notepads, to your website. Like everything needs to be cohesive. And you and I share a similar passion in that, obviously, that's where we want. So you've created brand standard information for our clients. So like just today, we were talking about Warehouse Auto Company, my parents' car dealership, and just that we need to be creating a brand standard sheet for them. And you're able to, because you have skills that I don't have, you're able to take what I've already done with creating a brand for them, and then just really systemizing it so that it can be duplicated across different people. And so it's really easy for people, if they have a brand standard sheet or multiple sheets, they can see right away. They can tell that this is the way, this is the font we use, this is the style we use, these are the color numbers that we use, this is how we represent the brand, these are the sayings, these are, and it's systemized so that when you're training new people or when you're sharing that information with, say, different media companies, they know at a quick glance, like, this is what, these are the rules of the brand, so that the customers don't get confused and you don't have a billboard looking one way and your Facebook post looking a different way.
Yeah. Guidelines like that are especially important in bigger companies, keeping brands consistent. You don't want to have a color that looks similar to this one, but it's just a little bit off. And, definitely consistency is number one in branding. You can't have a solid, recognizable brand without consistency, and you have to be consistent over every platform.
And that is what big brands do. So if you want to get up to that level and you want to scale your company, you really want to head in that direction. And that's something that Banowetz Marketing can help with.
For sure.
So yeah. Is there anything else that you want to mention?
Knowing that branding is the first voice of your company, and keeping consistency in mind with that, and determining from the start what you want that to be, and keeping it going throughout.
Awesome. Well, thanks for being on the podcast today, Melody.
Well, thank you.
We will see you next time, and follow us on all of our channels. Reach out to us if you have any questions, and we'll see you later. Thanks. Bye.